Devin Yoder, and I'll be doing my persuasive speech. Man, how bad is it gonna suck when we finally get out of college, only to have to pay off our student loan debt, and then we have to find somewhere to live? I mean, all the expenses just keep adding up. We're talking about rental, we're talking about car insurance, food, utilities. Jeez. But I do know a way to mitigate that. It's called house hacking. And the concept of house hacking is actually fairly simple. It's where you purchase a property, you live in it, and then you rent out the spare room. Some of the most important things about house hacking is the terminology that you'll be using. The terminology such as mortgage and equity. Mortgage being the total loan that you take from the bank to pay off the house. So you'll be paying a mortgage off every month. Most people take a mortgage of 15 to 30 years. Another one is equity. Equity being the total value of your house, subtracting the loan or mortgage that you took off. And most people talk about equity as in positive equity, and everybody wants positive equity. And positive equity is just that. It's when your house is worth more than your loan or your mortgage. Now, people that you can find and get great information off of would be people like Craig Kurlope from Bigger Pockets. He's a podcast author, and I would seriously suggest you check him out. Another one is Scott Trench from Set for Life. His book has been instrumental in my first steps towards financial freedom. And then you have people like Robert Kiyosaki, and he writes his most famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, one of the most important things when you're buying a real estate property is the location. And the location being that you have to make sure that, as per Scott Trench and Set for Life, that it needs to be close to work. That way you can cut down on your living expenses. Now, the location also consists of where you're buying your house. You want it to buy in an upcoming neighborhood where the rental property is high, but the houses aren't priced too much. That way you get the most return for your investment. Now, location also requires that your neighborhood is in a good area and the positive equity is up, and everyone is making sure that they're taking care of the properties. Another one is to make sure that your renters, who will be your primary source of income, your renters are good people. You're looking for quiet couples and young. And that way that there are no problems and there'll be a nice quiet family to take care of your house for you. People you want to stay away from is families and with kids in general, and college students. When you're making sure your renters and you're making the first steps and for future steps in your rental goal, you want to make sure that you're taking notes the entire time. From start to finish, you'll be coming up with new problems that you've never even thought of before. And those problems that you'll be able to stop when you see them and prepare for them in the future for your other rental investments. Now, those notes you can also find is great help from biggerpockets.com. They have many forums where expert investors just talk about what their circumstances were and what they've done and how they fixed it. And it's a great place to find some help. Another one is the contracts. Contracts being kind of the most important part about self-protection. That way that you don't get taken advantage of. So contracts, the things you want to look out for is obviously a deposit. A deposit being high enough where the renters will want it back at the end of a lease. And that way that you can make sure that if there are any damages to the property, to your property, that you can repair them afterwards. Another one is to watch out for animals. Now you can also have a deposit for animals to make sure that any damages are covered, or you can do a monthly fee on top of the rent in case they have an animal. Another one is the eviction notice. An eviction notice, you primarily want a 30-day eviction notice that has set in your contract in case you think that your renters are taking advantage of you in any way possible. If there is any problems, that you can have them out of the house as quickly as possible, legally and nice and clean. Another things I've gone over is how people and the information, how you get that, and the location that and the money that you'll need. And the money being from Scott Trench's Set for Life, the $25K is the prime money that you'll need to start your investment. And $25,000 puts you at the optimal position. That way you can haggle with your mortgage brokers on how much your monthly fees are going to be and how much your monthly mortgage is. Now $25K puts you in a unique position too, where you can buy the house in the property range that you would like to have, and allows you to make any repairs or remodels that you'll need before you put the house on the market. And you don't want to have the market on you don't want to have the house under repair for any more than 30 days. 30 days you'll be losing money. So after we've gone through all of that, the people and the information that you can gather from, the money and the location is primarily what you need. And so that is my conclusion. And today I would like to ask you is when you guys are going to start saving for your 25K goal to start investing today. Who out of here wants to start their financial journey now?